found, Dr. Reith?
Well, I told her to come out with me now. Your speech out?
Yep.
You've got it on a piece of paper already.
Memorising it the other day.
And I shouldn't be having this conversation with you. I should be at home at this time having dinner or going to the pub with David. And it's not possible to describe the feeling of having your son murdered in such a pointless way. At a public inquiry, people can be compelled to come and give evidence. At an inquest, they can just say, no, I'm not coming, and that's what happened.
Kind of deeply, of course, it rattles them, but also like the bond that they have with each other.
Fear and pain, and Danny was bleeding a lot through his leg, and I had to sort of stem the blood flow to use my belt and my shirt as a tourniquet. I remember putting my hands into saying to Danny, this is going to hurt, and I put my hands into his leg to try and find his femoral artery or try to stem the blood while I put the tourniquet on.
The one that particularly strikes me, particularly having been involved subsequently in leading national approach to counter-terrorism work, there were two massive changes that have improved our ability to protect the communities for the better. The first was the changes that brought policing and our security services, particularly MI5, much more close together, so that we now have the closest joint operating arrangements anywhere in the world. And secondly, counter-terrorism work became something that wasn't just about what was based in London, and a network was built with bases in all of the regions across the country, and that partnership and that reach across the country has created something far stronger and far more effective at protecting communities than we had before that day.
Have no fear of them, for nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will not become known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim from the housetops. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell.
When 4 bombs exploded on the 7th of July 2005, lives were destroyed and the flame of hope faltered for what seemed like an eternal moment. For many people, nothing was the same again. And yet everything was the same again, because the good which is in Londoners and the countless visitors who they host at any given moment is not erased by hatred or by threat, or rather is fostered to produce a harvest of hope for each generation.
King's Cross, Russell Square. James Adams. Samantha Badham. Philip Beer. Anna Brandt. Kieran Cassidy. Rochelle Chong Foyen. Elizabeth Daplin. Arthur Frederick. Carolina Gluck. Gamze Gunnerol. Lee Christopher Harris. Bajera Ikiyagu. Emily Jenkins. Adrian Johnson. Helen Catherine Jones. Susan Levy. Shelley Marie Mather, Michael Matsushita, James Mays, Behnaz Mazaka, Michaela Otto, Atik Sharifi, Ihab Slimani, Christian Joya Dewara Small, Monica Sachoka, Marla Trivedi,
Aldgate, Lee Braisden, Benedetta Chiachia, Richard Ellery, Richard Martin Gray, Anne Moffat, Fiona Stevenson, Carrie Louise Taylor, Edgware Road, Michael Stanley Brewster, Jonathan Downey, David Fuchs, Colin Morley, Jennifer Vanda Ann Nicholson, Laura Suzanne Webb, Tavistock Square, Anthony Fatai Williams, Jamie Gordon, Giles Vernon Hart, Marie Joan Hartley, Miriam Hyman, Shahara Islam, Nitu Jian, Sam Song Lai, Shanuga Nirashoni Paratha Sangari, Anat Rosenberg, Philip Stewart Russell, William Wise, Gladys Wundoa.